They were circling and squawking.
You're going crazy. What for?
I don't know, but there's something up the tree.
I saw a large figure 3/4 of the way up the tree, even from being on the ground and that far away from the tree looking up. It was huge. It was just massive. It looked like it was 700 pounds, 8 to 10 feet tall. Fear, I think, was the first thing that hit me. We've seen mountain lions and bears, and nothing ever looked anything like that.
There's something up there.
I didn't notice it climbing up or how long it had been there or what it was even doing. I mean, it knew we were there.
It's looking right at us.
We needed to get out of there fast.
Let's go.
We jump out of the treehouse, and as we were running as fast as we could, you could hear whatever it was that jumped out of the tree. It was so heavy, so dense. The vibration, when it hit, I could feel it through my feet as I was running.
Come on, Keith, hurry up!
A lot of fear came over both of us because we'd never experienced or seen anything like that, and it really shook us. I wanted to get to the house, to tell Mom, because it wasn't really far away, but at that time it seemed like it took forever to get there. I ran inside the house, to get my mom.
Keith was crying, Joe was freaking out, saying there's something in the woods that was chasing us.
There was this thing in the tree. No, this is not a bear.
They were scared to death, they really were. Keith was screaming, I want to go home, Aunt Sue, I just want to go home, and I was freaking out. I didn't understand why I didn't know what had happened. Keith said when the ground shook, he turned around and looked at it, and it was chasing them. I said, Keith, sit down while it's fresh in your mind. Draw a picture of what you saw. It looked like a monkey. He said it had red eyes, like big teeth.
It almost looked evil, like a devil, I guess you would say. Just very dark, very scary looking. We ended up giving it the name Devil Monkey because it looked so evil, like a devil.
I knew they'd seen something because they were so scared. I don't want to say I didn't believe them because I knew something happened to them. My husband had a tendency to think they either made it up or they were just exaggerating something because he likes to explain things, and he didn't believe it.
So, where was it?
Up there.
Okay. Go get the tools.
My dad, just really working man, and he had other things on his mind on something that had just scared us in the woods.
Come on, boys. You could get the lumber later.
We never went back to pick up the lumber and stuff that we had on the ground, nothing. We never went back to it. Because of what happened, Keith never came out to the woods anymore.
I hear you, Ron, but he's just a kid. He just lets his imagination run away, I agree, probably a bear. Listen, just ignore Joe. He just spooks easy. Yeah.
At first,
Yeah.
I was anxious to tell people my story and what I saw, and I'd get made fun of. Hey man, tell them about the devil monkey, and then everybody would start laughing. It's like, you know what? I don't have a desire to tell anybody anymore because nobody was on board or believed me. I just decided that was the past, and I swept it under the rug and tried to erase it out of my memory.
After we had purchased that piece of land where Joe told us he had seen this animal jump out of the tree, my husband leveled that piece off and built a barn. And we got a horse.
Oh, you're a greedy girl.
She was our very first horse. We loved her. Her name was Rose. We would go to the barns twice a day to feed. Anybody that has horses they know when they're gonna get fed, and they always run to the barns.
Go find some grass. I'll see you in the morning.
We loved that horse. The next morning, we went down to feed the horse.
Hey, Rose. What's wrong?
She had these big claw marks on her hindquarters, and there was like 3, like on each side, all the way from the top down.
Hey, Mom, get over here. Oh my God.
And it wasn't dead, but it was like in shock. Something attacked that horse in the woods.
Those are deep. She needs the vet. Hey, Zeus, get over here.
It almost seemed like something had grabbed a hold of it because it was on the hind of the horse. Maybe it was running and had grabbed a hold of it, tried to catch it. Maybe we weren't really sure. Horse is very large. It was 1,000 pounds or better. So something that could even consider taking on that size of an animal had to have a lot of confidence itself. Not knowing what it could have been as the day went on, started to put 2 and 2 together. Could this have something to do with what we experienced a year or 2 prior to that?
Mom, what if it was that thing we saw?
The stable that we had built was probably about 50 foot from the tree house that Joe had been working on. I realized whatever's in the woods attacking my horse were the same thing that chased Joe and Keith out of the woods.
The devil monkey.
My husband is very calm. Everything's got some kind of a logical explanation behind everything. He doesn't believe that kind of stuff.
There's probably plenty of animals could do this. I'll call the vet.
When the vet came out, he saw the horse, he saw the marks. He said no, he'd never seen that before.